Hello and welcome back everybody to the Back Nine coverage of round 3 of the 2021 Discraft Green Mountain Championship presented by Upper Park Disc Golf. I'm Brian Earhart, joined here again by Nate Perkins, and we move into the back 9 of the Brewster Ridge course. And Matt Bell, 7 under through 9 holes.
Yeah, it's one of the better front nines ever played out here at Brewster.
We are watching him play with such physical confidence. He is throwing the disc exactly where he wants to throw it. He's not in trouble. He's hitting great putts. Paul McBeth is creeping up behind him at 4 under. A single bogey is bringing him back a bit. As you can see, the man to beat right now is Chris Dickerson, 28 under par right now, 7 under through the round at this point as well.
What a tournament he's having.
Here we go.
Hole 10. Probably the signature hole out here at Brewster. It's 470, slightly downhill. It's downhill enough that players can still potentially throw mid-range. A lot of times you'll see fairways, and sometimes you'll see players actually throw driver and just aim for the trees.
Mm-hmm. It's hard to get those fast drivers to land softly.
Yes, it is.
Matt pulled his off to the right a bit, but he does kick back into the middle. He still has about 300 to the basket from there.
Curious to see what McBeth tries to play on this one.
He's throwing a driver. This is some sort of ledgestone run, so some special edition disc. Oh, and that's getting a nice soft fade.
Yeah, gentle flip up.
But he does
really pin high.
Yeah, push it a bit off to the left. Almost gets it. Circle 2.
Vulture from Paul.
Nope.
Typically notice Paul's grip, he really curls his wrist around the top of the disc more than other players.
Yes, and it's because he likes to throw those really steep hyzer flips, so he does really value spin on a lot of the discs he throws. We saw him throw heat on hole 8 on that approach shot. Dylan going flick. Fades out a bit early, but still gets a decent ways down the hill. Let's take a look. Let's jump back at Dylan's forehand form. He's powerful, and he gets that elbow off his body pretty far. Reminds me a little bit of Gavin Rathbun's sidearm.
Nice.
Little bit.
I
Powerful.
can see that, yeah. This upshot can be pretty tricky to get it to nestle.
Ooh, a little bit short, actually. 35, 40 feet for Matt. No problem there. Let's see if Paul can capitalize on this. He's got about a 50-footer.
Little low ceiling.
Nope.
Actually, have never seen anybody throw a forehand off the tee on 10.
It's a tough forehand. It's a long forehand. This is Dylan for birdie after that forehand.
Let's
go.
Weak
Weak side. Little hyzer has the right speed.
What a birdie.
That is a great momentum boost moving into the back half of this course. No way.
Wow, it just fell out so slow, too.
And you really hope that that's not what starts to make the wheels fall off. Those types of spit outs are just miserable, especially when you're putting for a par from a long range. That was brutal. There are some niche spit outs on these baskets that I don't see often. These are some of the better catching baskets on the tour. But every now and then you have one that hits that upper ring, and it kind of has a weird reaction off of that.
I've seen those. The high center on the pros can come out. That one looked like it was like low right and in the
Strange.
pocket. And yeah, Bell, you can see
We'll
taking
see.
a second look at it.
Hole number 11, 605-foot downhill par 4. Eagle is in play with a very precise driver shot that flexes late right about there.
Bell has actually carded a 2 on this hole.
And I wouldn't doubt it with the control drivers that he likes to throw. I could see a Rogue or a Hurricane getting down there for him. And Dylan is just saying, I want a 3. He's clubbing down to a slower disc. He's just going with that powerful sidearm yet again. That's a little early.
I like that you said Gavin Rathbun, because he really does get his arm really far away from his body.
He does.
Yeah.
Kind of that early extension before he throws, but
when he brings it through, that elbow is driving close to his body.
I say that as a big compliment because, you know, Gavin's also a younger player on tour that has a lot of physical talent.
And Gavin actually dealing with a pretty serious shoulder injury, hoping that he heals up pretty quick.
Paul's turnover does not quite hit the shape. He's going to be off on the left side. Oh, and Paul going nuke.
Go in.
Keep going. Come on. No way. He's putting for eagle.
Is it past the basket?
That's the farthest drive I've ever seen on this hole. And the nuke is honestly the speed of disc that you need to match the shape. That late fade.
It like just started to fade as it was heading over a cameraman's head.
This also looks really good. And he's way down there as well. You know,
This is such a fun hole to throw for that reason right there, because when you do hit that perfect line, it can just keep going
so
down
satisfying. I think that's why I love... Whoa, the helicopter follow-through from Dylan.
the hill. He's been very expressive all around for us.
I mean, I would hope he's pumped up.
Yeah.
I would hope he's full of adrenaline at this point. Paul not quite throwing a good shot there. He's still pretty far up the fairway. Ooh, look at this smoothie.
I like that smoothie. That was smooth.
Yeah. I'm going to rewind that one later. That was nice.
He kind of faked me out too, like with his setup. I just don't know his routine well enough, and
Paul is putting. Well, if you call it a putt, this is his 4th shot. Just little sloppy play.
finally to Bell's drive. Wow, and look at what he has left. Just a little chip up.
Runs a little flick putt.
And where is Paul? Is down past the basket? No. No,
He had that little
Paul.
staggered gap, and it looked like either way, left or right of that tree, was going to be some sort of trick putt. He does get himself a birdie.
That
What a drive. That's
is a
huge.
historic drive. He's past the pin on 11.
Yeah. That's large.
Notice that Paul's like kind of setting up with a little angle in his hand. Like
Yeah.
it's on Annie.
He's not really bringing it down on that angle, though.
No, but I haven't really seen him. Normally he's just like real. It's the opposite, right? It's
Kind of
hyzer
on
in
hyzer,
front of
and then
his
he
hand.
rolls down on
Yeah.
that same angle.
He has been tweaking it just a bit
Mm-hmm.
this season.
He's had some struggles on the putting green. So it's natural to try to find some way to make it more consistent or change scenery to undo any bad habits that you've learned in the past. So
And a good bounce back for Matt there.
Best word to describe the T-Bird 3 is consistent. Straight, just slightly stable. That's exactly what I get every time. Grabbing the disc and knowing it's going to be consistent that thought popping into my head when I'm lining up that straight shot. That's the confidence booster. That's all positive reinforcement. This is the disc that I reach for. And if you want that consistent straight finish, grab the T-Bird 3.
Hole 12, this is one of your favorites, Brian. 430, slightly downhill. And again, you have to kind of flip something up the entire way or just let it run out of steam at the end.
This is right in Paul's wheelhouse. This is a Paul Ulibarri shot.
He's
This
on
is
that 10-year buzz here.
Oh, this is an older than 10-year buzz. This
Oh,
is
really?
I believe a first-run buzz. that
First
he's
run
thrown.
buzz.
He paid some money for this one. Yeah, look at that slow flip. Look at this line. Absolutely parked, and that's why I love this hole. That's the optimal shape. There's no stock shot
Gently
here.
flipping up the entire
That's
way.
all technique. That's all experience.
This is a bonsai from Bell.
It's got to flip more. A little bit inside. He did bounce back after that bogey on 10.
Looks like a rock from Dylan.
Not flipping up quite enough, but still moving. Yeah, I think he's going to have a putt from there. Paul going Luna again. Look at this neutral fade. Okay.
That is spectacular with a putter. It's twice on hole 9 and here again on 12. Just premium disc off shot to get a putter to float 430 down the hill.
Ooh, a little continuation of the weight.
This guy is cracking me up.
He's
though.
stoked.
He's just spinning in circles after his shots. Paul not spinning in circles, even after the birdie.
No, I think in Paul's brain he's spinning in circles.
Stop it, Brian. Because he's not playing well, or
You know, maybe a little bit of both. You know?
yeah.
But, you know, we've seen Yuli this week get some pretty rough bits of misfortune on the course this
true.
week. So
It's
that's
true.
also a little bit of what I'm alluding to. He is doing his best to fight back. That's 2 birdies in a row for him moving into number 13. 545, slow bend around the corner to the right. You just want to land on this path far enough to where you have a straight shot at this funneling green. I love a hole that makes you hit a line and then position yourself to funnel back into the woods. Because every single spot in the fairway is different. Ooh.
And we've got a note here that 13 is typically one of the slickest tee pads. And even on this day where the tee pads were nice, you can see Paul actually going with a standstill here. And I have to imagine that that's part of the reason why.
Oh, yeah, I would have to say it's 100% why. And you know what? I have to give credit to the Smug staff. They came out here and they scrubbed these tee pads down. They did a lot of work to try to get these prepared. You know, they're not happy to hear that the players are afraid of their safety and laying down towels on the tee pads. They know that these need to get updated at some point, but the fact that they're out here scrubbing them down for the players it's monumental.
Oh, God. Get a good kick. Do it.
Dylan asking for a lot from that shot. We will see where he's at.
Bell looking high.
This is what Ricky did the other day. And an uh-oh from Matt Bell. We did not get a catch cam angle on that. Dylan gets out in the middle. Ooh, there's the heat. He's going sidearm heat. He's going to throw this like an ultimate disc.
This is such a fun shot to watch.
He just pops it.
Just a little low. I just didn't quite give it the life. And it's still, what?
Slides up there.
Get out of here. Look at him. Look, he knows it. He's going to have a look for par. A long one.
This is Paul's drive. Standstill flick. Doesn't have a good angle. He's pinched off on the right side. He's going to have a long look from there.
This guy, Capaccioli, is putting on a show for us.
The backwards somersault follow through.
Off the bridge.
Yeah, off the bridge.
Come on, Bill. Okay.
I'm getting some like Kevin Jones vibes from him as well.
Hold on.
He's hype.
I can see it. I can see it. I've never seen Kev lay on the ground like that, but
I've seen him fall on the ground like that.
he's committed to his lines.
Absolutely.
And he's in every shot.
Exactly.
I can see what you mean. You'd love to see that though.
Of course.
Not someone, even when they're bogeying, he's in every moment.
And he's beating himself.
Yeah.
You absolutely love to see that. This is the moment that all young disc golfers are dreaming of. You're with two potential future Hall of Famers, and you're right up there with them.
There's that Annie again, Brian. You see that?
Yeah,
The
it's
way
like he's trying to
setting
putt
up?
a little flatter than he used to. Reminds me of when Nate Doss used to kind of go back and forth from curling up on that Anheuser,
Yeah.
and then now he's, curling flat. It's always interesting to see over time how players, especially with the putt, which is such a precise movement, or like how we noticed that Anthony Barella and Adam Hammes were starting to putt similarly, on their downswing. The little mannerisms in our game.
Champion, World champion, Chase Card.
14, shortest hole on the course, slightly uphill. Got to start something off to the right, let it fade a little bit. Probably playing as the easiest hole on the course, Brian.
It's playing very close to the easiest hole in the course.
Maybe 1 or 3. 3 is typically the easiest,
Yes.
and this is second.
And Paul finally satisfied with his throw.
But that's his 4th birdie in a row.
And I just am, and like you said, he moved to Charlotte recently. So you were talking about him kind of curling his wrist up a little bit more. His play style is changing ever so slightly. And he's loving that like steep, spinny hyzer flip more and more. Paul also throwing a pretty good line. That's going to sit right next to the basket as well. This is as close to a stock shot as this course gives them.
Miss it.
Oh, Matt hits the middle tree. Missing this hole does not feel good. Ooh, and he ducks it around that tree. And he gets right up there. Oh, no.
That was mean.
This is for a par. And he did not even have a line to run it. It's a bogey.
Back-to-back bogeys here. That's a really tough hole to bogey.
And I mean, just to show you how well he was doing, he just now ties Paul McBeth after taking back-to-back bogeys. And we move into number 15. They're starting out of bounds. There's the Stonewall Island fairway, so to speak. It's this little subtle hyzer that pretty much has to skip to get to the basket.
Yeah.
If you want to get inside circle one, it is a tough shot.
Very nervy tee shot.
Oh yeah, and just the pressure of getting in bounds. This is Paul with a special edition Mantis from Ledgestone.
Oh, no.
And he pulls it right again.
He is just holding on to the... Did that go in bounds?
No way. He is never allowed to say he's the most unlucky disc golfer ever again.
Does he say that?
I'm guessing he says that.
And, you know, it's funny because Matt Bell is the self-proclaimed luckiest disc golfer, which...
What a title that must be.
Yeah.
Maybe if you believe it, you just become that.
It's true. I mean, and if you believe you're the unluckiest, you probably will become that, right?
You might be onto something, Nate. And there's the skip we're talking about, and he rolls down, and he's 25 feet from the basket for birdie. And maybe Dylan thinks he's the most parked disc golfer. So we'll see what he's got here. He's got a rock in his hand, I believe. Early release, and he feels it. That's OB right away. And this is, like you said, nervy tee shot because you can see your card mate going out of bounds, and then you begin to realize that you need to hit this gap. That is nailed.
That's the shot right there. Get that skip.
Oh, and he gets the sideways skip behind the basket. Park job.
That's the best one I've seen all weekend right there.
Exactly what he needed. And this is Dylan.
So this is the drop zone. If you miss that island, you proceed to this. You're throwing 3.
Not an easy shot still.
Yeah, Dylan.
Oh, he's giving himself a 20-footer, 15-footer. He has a putt for a 4.
I don't know how Paul's disc went in bounds.
Sheer willpower.
Ring it. Go.
Oh, short. Way short. He's got a long putt.
That's a great pickup.
Oh, yeah. 15 on this course is... It is a fantastic pickup. Paul's going to move to 19 under par. Tied for 4th. Matt putting for birdie as well to tie Paul up. And he gets it. So even after 2 bogeys in a row, he gets the birdie back. 19 under par total, tied for 4th place with Paul McBeth.
Yeah, it's a good up and down from the drop zone. OB all along the left side, significantly downhill. This early gap that the drone is flying through is decent for the right hand backhand turnover, and the forehand likes to go on the outside of that fork tree, something stable. And McBeth is going early.
And he got up there fast.
Yeah.
And he's 20 feet from the basket for birdie. Matt, looking to match here.
It's a tough one to park.
Yeah, there's not that many clear lines. There's a
Yeah.
lot of clusters of trees that you have to miss. A lot of times you're finding yourself at the edge of circle 1. Oh, inside. It's just a little bit too inside.
It's great.
Okay, this looks good. Come on in.
Nice.
That
Skips just in front.
is perfect.
Cash.
That's a big distance to jump putt from.
Yeah.
He's really figured something out. We spoke about it before. You mentioned you're one of the guys you're working with,
Yeah.
Mike.
Yeah. Mike Strauss.
Mike Strauss has really helped Paul with his putt, and this man needs no help with his putt. Matt Bell dropping another one in.
He moves to 20, forcing Paul to have to make his as well. And he does. It's 3 in a row for Paul, 20 under par as well. 2 holes left on the course. And they're fighting for that lead card spot. Dylan also getting his birdie, moving to 14 under par. Not too bad of a scoring spread at number 16. We're going to move into number 17, 535. Shoot it straight about 3 to 350. Hit this cluster of trees and bend diagonally to the left. Basket's pretty straightforward, tucked into this little section. It's a subtle hyzer to the left. Cannot crash too hard. And that did fade too hard. That's going to likely be a pitch out for Paul. And Matt had an opportunity to capitalize on Paul's mistake, but makes the exact same one.
Dylan actually going mid-range here. You don't need much off the tee. You just need to get to that corner.
It's only 535. If you go mid-range, you very well could birdie this hole like that.
Oh,
Same mistake.
Also early.
Did something.
This is a good-looking line. And he got caught up in that section of trees, but he squeaks out to the backside.
It's a tough spot right there.
It is, but at least he's on the other side of the trees. He has a lane to get up to the basket.
Better than early left like
Exactly.
these guys. Dylan was deep in there. Curious to see how Bell and McBeth's fared.
Oh, he sees something.
He's definitely attacking here.
This doesn't look like a layup. Oh, and he kicks backwards into the ditch. This is going to be tough for him. He's still up. And this is pitch-up range right here.
Quite a bit different of a story for Matt on this back nine than we saw in the front. Oh, McBeth with a much better lie. He just had a straight hyzer into the pin.
That's a park job for birdie. And I mean, I know theoretically a spit out shouldn't derail you, but when you're playing that good, it's easy to feel completely robbed by something like that, like what happened to Matt Bell
that
at
shot on
hole 10.
Yep, for par.
And it's like
First bogey of the round.
Yeah.
You start to overthink things.
and you know on paper that it doesn't matter and you can't control it, but
Yep.
it certainly does throw you off a bit.
Yeah.
And it seems like things started to kind of get shaky at that point. Dylan tapping in his par.
A great stretch of holes here from McBeth. 4 in a row.
Yeah, yet another birdie. 21 under par. 1 hole remaining. He's still tied for 4th place. And we are going to move into the final hole.
345. Straight down the road here. Can go over the top of the bush or swing something stable out to the right. Let it fade back.
This is like the most influential bush in disc golf history. Seriously.
It really is right in the middle of the fairway.
Tree
The
fade.
most influential bush. I love that.
It makes the players throw something much more complex than if the bush wasn't there. And
It's
it's
true.
not that big.
You don't see a lot of discs go right through the bush, though.
No, you see players try to stall something over the top of it or throw a hard flex shot. And as you can see, 2 of the best players in the world can't make this 345-foot shot happen.
What
Dylan
are
is,
we seeing here?
Dylan
Is he going forehand roller or?
He might be tricking us. He might just be throwing straight. Let's see.
He was
He was tricking
tricking us. I don't. Capaccioli.
Dylan Capaccioli. Sneaky guy.
What was he lining up? I still don't get it. Can't hate though. It's always a pleasure to watch someone new play. You know,
Especially with the energy, knowing like
Yes.
this is my shot, this is my chance. And he threw some great shots out here today. I know it wasn't the round that he was looking for. But again, trial by fire. Got to keep giving yourself these opportunities and
we'll see him again.
oh yeah, we'll see him again. Just give him one.
No,
Yes!
he doesn't. What a
Give
putt!
him the final putt of the day. Give him this last Gatekeeper rewind. Long flex, nose up, challenger on the strong
Look
side.
at that catch.
Oh, and the Chain Star Pro is kind to Paul to finish off the round.
Love to see it.
You love to see it. All right, Dylan.
Wonder if Paul has always been very particular about his form, and I wonder if he could go back to this Gatekeeper coverage and see why he was pulling all his shots. I bet he would pick it up right away.
Absolutely. And you know what? For someone like him that's been playing for a long time, the explanation is not a lot of times in the form. The answer is simply, I threw it too far right. And, you know, I feel like
That's
at
good to
this
hear.
point, someone that's been playing that long, feel means way more than just pure technique. And we're just, I feel blessed that we're able to watch these players like Paul and Uli that have been on the road for over a decade. You know, it's awesome to watch the game evolve for them still. It's awesome to watch the new faces come into the sport. Dylan Capaccioli and Matt Bell making a splash in the scene as well
Wow,
over the past
Matt.
few years. Yeah,
He shot 1 over on the back 9, Brian. 7 on the front, 6 for the round. Paul actually winning the card with an 8 under par.
we will see him tomorrow. And again, course record for Chris Dickerson. 34 under par through 3 rounds out here. We have 1 more round remaining. Can anybody catch the limestone laser? We will find out. Will we have a Chase Card champion? Make sure to subscribe to Gatekeeper Media and find out. We will catch you for the final round coverage.